The honey badger is said to be the most fearless thug in Africa, attacking lions, venomous snakes, and leopards. But tangling with an oryx antelope was a mistake. It immediately showed who was boss by lifting the opponent on its horns and tossing it aside like a rag. We will show other cases of epic confrontations between truly cool animals. Usually the hyena takes food from other predators, but this time it became the victim of a tusked bandit. The hyena was carrying its prey in its teeth when a leopard attacked it. The cunning and sly cat understood that as long as the hyena's mouth was occupied with meat, the enemy was practically helpless, as it was not good at fighting with its paws. The powerful and aggressive leopard unexpectedly attacked, delivering a series of claw strikes that stunned the hyena and forced it to release its prey from its mouth. The hyena is noticeably larger than the young leopard but lacks its flexibility and agility. Note that the leopard didn't just snatch the prey from the hyena and run off with its trophy. The panther didn't immediately use its advantage. She struck the hyena several more times when it was already ready to fight. Thus, the leopard asserted its superiority over the opponent and showed that it was not worth tangling with him. With a powerful attack, the cat pushed the hyena away, and only then took the hoofed body. The hyena probably counted on the opportunity to strike from behind and pounce on the retreating leopard's back, but now its mouth was occupied with meat. But the clever cat skillfully calculated the distance and managed to run to the tree before the hyena came to its senses. The panther literally soared up the trunk, and the hyena didn't have time to do anything. Not all cats dislike water. All panthers can swim, and some do it with great pleasure and even hunt there if necessary. Lions also swim well, and although they almost never fish, they confidently overcome small water obstacles. However, crossing this lake was a bad idea. Here lives the hippopotamus, a territorial and aggressive creature weighing over 3 tons. Of course, confronting 3 young lions is risky for any animal, but the water supports the hippopotamus's weight and significantly increases its maneuverability, allowing it to charge at all 3 predators at once. This attack looks impressive, as the huge and powerful hippopotamus is capable of knocking down and drowning at least 1 lion with a single blow, grabbing another with its powerful jaws, and tossing the third. Fortunately, although the lions did not know who they would face, they sensed danger at the last moment and managed to dodge the fatal blow. At the crucial moment, they quickly scattered, letting the enraged hippopotamus's mouth pass by them. This saved them. The hippopotamus rushes between them, trying to catch each one, but cannot drown any. The hippopotamus loses initiative for a moment while the lions move away. This slows the beast down, but it still manages to catch up with one of the brothers. The lion's life was hanging by a thread, saved by a timely and powerful leap. He literally jumps out of the hippopotamus's mouth, which the 3-ton beast can use to crush motorboats. The giant's tusk grazed the lion's hide, but the panther avoids injury. A bruise can be endured. The injury will serve as a reminder that some places are inaccessible even for powerful panthers. Note that when the hippopotamus continues its advance, the lion avoids being caught by the enemy by moving sideways. The other males are frightened as they cannot help their brother. Fortunately, soon the opponents are already on land, where the lion gets on its feet and regains its feline agility. Of course, there can be no serious resistance. Once on the ground, the lions use it in the only right way. The hippopotamus does not dare to pursue them, as deep in the savannah, the panthers might turn the situation around. But here, he feels like a king. A hyena unexpectedly attacked an antelope, suddenly grabbing it by the scruff. Even one-on-one, the hyena remains a powerful predator that can choose the optimal moment to attack and handle prey larger than itself. The hunter's bite force is colossal, and because of this, the aggressor begins to win. It seems that in just a few seconds of intense confrontation, the hyena will snatch victory without facing worthy resistance. But she did not consider who she was dealing with. The antelope showed unexpected resilience and almost immediately managed to overcome both the pain and the grip of the opponent. The antelope instantly freed itself from the attacker. It happened so quickly that even the camera failed to capture these sharp and unexpected movements. The hyena was shocked and could no longer regain control of the situation. Of course, it kept pressing on, but despite the predator's attempts to resume the attack, the brave antelope had now completely seized the initiative in the fight. It continued to resist, pushing the predator back with its clear advantage in mass. Then the herbivore moves to counterattack. Looks quite impressive, doesn't it? The hyena finally realizes its mistake in choosing prey and, clearly feeling fear, begins to retreat. Quite quickly, the hunter and the prey switched places. Without the help of its skin, the hyena was practically helpless against the hoofed animal, which managed to overcome the pain and believe in itself. The antelope pursued the enemy, forcing the hyena to remember this painful lesson. Leopards are only the fourth largest panthers in size and mass, significantly smaller than lions, tigers, and jaguars. However, leopards should not be underestimated. They are capable of fighting with remarkable skill and aggression, not only hunting very large prey, but also fending off predators of a heavier weight class. There is even a unique moment where a leopard managed to stand up to a powerful male lion. Of course, this spotted cat has to retreat and there can be no talk of victory as the opponent is more than 4 times heavier. The leopard had to run away, but it did not panic, and so when the lion got close enough, the spotted panther instantly turned around and managed to counterattack. This was not an act of desperation, but the only chance to survive. The leopard delivered several powerful blows with its clawed paws, which managed to disrupt the enemy's attacking momentum. If the smaller predator had missed the moment, the lion would have simply knocked down the leopard and broken its neck. But the leopard counterattacked in time and slightly stunned the opponent. Although his series of counterattacks did not cause significant harm to the lion, they made it pause. If only... The leopard gained a few precious seconds and used this time perfectly, immediately breaking the distance and getting out of reach of the enemy's claws. The combination of the leopard's bravery, cunning, and strength deserves your like, doesn't it? The polar bear is the largest predator on the planet. The weight of a mature male can fluctuate around half a ton. If this predator stands on its hind legs, the head of an adult man would be at the level of the lower chest of the wild beast. Such dimensions, of course, mean colossal strength. A polar bear can literally toss wolves like bowling pins, breaking their necks with a single blow, stomping them into the ground. The claws and fangs of the white predator are no less impressive. However, the wolves know exactly who they are dealing with and are not about to expose themselves to the enemy's arsenal. They are smart, fast, cunning, and have years of experience fighting together as a team against such lone heavyweights. Wolves dodge each attack from the enemy, perfectly calculating the distance. They threaten him and constantly press, but leave themselves enough space to jump back if the bear charges. Numerical superiority gives them the opportunity to completely seize the initiative in this fight, but the bear does not understand who it has tangled with. The confrontation takes place in the tundra, much further south than the usual habitat of the polar bear. The pack predators have experience fighting brown bears, but the white giant has clearly come here for the first time. The reason for this is global warming. Due to the shrinking ice cover of the Arctic, which is an ocean and not a continent, and where there is no ice, there is simply open water. Polar bears are increasingly moving southward into the snowy lands of the tundra. And here he was, met with a very harsh reception. It must be admitted that the wolves are mostly bluffing. Even all together, these four predators would hardly be able to defeat the polar bear. Even a simultaneous attack from all sides would hardly be effective. If the pack did win, it would be at a high cost, as the giant would manage to take at least 3 enemies with him.
But the bear does not know this and constantly flinches in response to each fake attack.
Wolves bluff, but it must be admitted that they do it effectively. Instead of a straightforward attack, the clever pack animals choose a more effective tactic of constant pressure. They have sort of encircled the bear, not intending to tighten it more than necessary, but also not letting the opponent go free. The bear found itself in a trap. The wolves relentlessly pursue the enemy, conduct probing attacks, and irritate or tease the bear. He charges into the fight, but the lighter and faster opponents in front scatter in different directions, while the predators behind take advantage and attack. Supporting their kin, the wolves that retreated a moment ago turn around and also charge at the bear after a couple of moments, just from different directions. The bear is shocked by such pressure. It snaps back and shows strength, but the wolves don't care. It's as if they are acting according to a pre-written and rehearsed plan, maintaining composure in front of such a large and dangerous enemy. The predators dispersed without sustaining serious injuries, but they drove the bear out of the pack's territory, and the white giant is forced to seek prey elsewhere. The powerful bear noticed the leopard and decided to show who is boss here. The bear resolutely moved towards the opponent and stood on its hind legs. The panther's reaction surprised him greatly, as the leopard simply didn't care. It noticed the bear but chose an unusual way to counter the enemy's attack. The panther decided to ignore it, intercepting the bear's gaze. The leopard did not even flinch, calmly stared at the enemy, and demonstrating readiness to fight, the panther realized that the bear was bluffing and was actually afraid to engage with a smaller but braver predator. In this case, the bluff didn't work, and the bear leaves with nothing while the leopard calmly goes about its business. A night surveillance camera captured an incident when a large coyote came onto the territory of 2 young lynxes. Coyotes are often underestimated because they are significantly smaller and weaker than wolves. Wrongly so, as coyotes can also be very dangerous and fierce fighters. Moreover, they are cunning and have a good understanding of most opponents. The aggressor understands that a sudden but fierce attack can make the inexperienced young lynxes flee. Then they will leave the territory, and if he gets lucky and catches one of the cats by the throat, all the better. Although the cats have a numerical advantage, they are not pack animals and do not know how to act together as a team. Moreover, they are adolescents without much experience. The coyote is much larger and counts on defeating the opponents because of this. A big mistake. The lynxes, though young, are clearly much more experienced when it comes to fights with other predators. The confrontation between species looks impressive as they have completely different fighting styles. Felines rely on sweeping strikes with their clawed paws at medium range. Agility, flexibility, and the ability to strike from a stance on their hind legs for some time allow them to deliver preemptive blows. The coyote is just preparing to attack when it immediately gets hit in the face. Canines rely more on their fanged jaws and powerful ramming strike. Lynxes understand the serious danger of the opponent's fangs. They have to work hard to prevent the aggressive and rather brave coyote from tearing their tendons and inflicting other wounds that could hinder their hunting in the future. Considering this, it is most impressive when the lynx takes a frontal attack from the coyote on its chest and delivers a sharp, stunning blow with both paws directly to the ears and face. The lynx acted like a martial arts master. Such a powerful attack simply threw the larger coyote aside. He is in shock and forced to retreat, realizing that if the 2 cats get seriously angry, they will surely tear him to shreds.
Nevertheless, lynxes are usually quite calm predators that resort to force either for hunting or, in extreme cases, for self-defense. By the way, well-documented cases of wild lynxes attacking humans are almost unknown. Although, of course, these predators should be avoided, it's just that this wolf mistakenly took composure for fear. The lynx is not afraid of him and is ready to fight a larger enemy, although it is not in a hurry to attack first. Why are these cats so calm? Because they are smart enough to understand that a fight with another carnivore of similar size is unnecessary for anyone. It is fraught with injuries that could hinder their ability to hunt for food. The lynx will most likely win, but it won't return to its den unscathed. That's why the lynx shows the wolf that it's not to be trifled with. Predators stare at each other for a while, like boxers at a weigh-in before a fight, and then the lynx suddenly rushes into battle. Finally, she realized that the wolf fears her more than she fears him. That's why the cat attacked. She wants to drive the opponent off her territory, and the wolf runs away. The tucked tail of the gray predator makes it clear that he got the hint and retreats, not wanting to face the cat's fury without the support of his pack. Resolving the conflict peacefully didn't work here. The lynx noticed the coyote but gave it a chance to go its own way. Look at how calmly this patient cat behaves. She shows that she sees the opponent and is ready for a fight, but avoids sudden movements to not scare the other predator. But the coyote did not take the hint and mistook the cat's peaceful behavior for weakness. He cautiously approached, ready to attack, but immediately received a crushing blow to the face from clawed paws. The lynx is not joking and the coyote has to flee. Baboons are primates with unexpectedly powerful and long canines for monkeys. They are aggressive, strong, and due to their herd lifestyle, they pose a danger even to fairly large animals. Even a lioness, if she is young and inexperienced, may be forced to retreat before an enraged baboon. A troop of primates can have several dozen individuals. Here, the primates decided that their numerical advantage and pressure would allow them to drive away or even devour the young leopard. It must be admitted that their attack looks frightening. Nevertheless, engaging in conflict with this spotted predator turned out to be a big mistake. He epically scattered the baboons with lightning-fast and painful swipes, bites, and throws. The leopard showed true skill, responding in time to the monkey's strikes, imposing his own rules of combat, and maintaining a distance so they couldn't trap their agile opponent. The paw strikes are stunningly strong and can be traumatic due to the claws. And if a baboon still manages to ram the leopard and get too close, the cat will use its fangs, quickly suppress the enemy's resistance, and break the distance, avoiding the trap of the pack. That's how the leopard single-handedly stands against an entire clan of primates. Notice the combination of fury and intelligence. Yes, the leopard is fierce and its roar carries over a great distance, scaring enemies, but it controls the situation and tries to act coolly, avoiding close combat. Although the leopard was attacked from all sides, the panther demonstrated its agility, which plays no less important a role than brute strength. Thanks to it, the leopard found the right moment to retreat, broke free from the enemy's grasp, and increasing the distance and leaving behind wounded primates, the baboons would do well to remember this lesson. Despite its enormous size, the tiger managed to sneak up on the bull to striking distance almost in open terrain. For this, the predator chose the perfect moment when it was in the ungulate's blind spot. Additionally, the tiger moved silently and approached from the downwind side. A lightning-fast leap and the big cat was already next to its prey. The bull reacts instantly, but it was not enough. It tries to fend off the attack with a powerful kick of its hind legs, but underestimating the tiger was a mistake. The panther withstands the onslaught and takes down the opponent with a single crushing blow, then reaches its throat and strangles it. This is a rare instance where an almost perfect tiger hunt was captured from such a close distance. Honey badgers are known for fearing no one. Usually this commands respect, but it must be admitted that honey badgers behave aggressively too often. They not only fend off large predators, but also attack nests, dens, and burrows of other animals that happen to be in the path of these marauders. Honey badgers often devour the offspring of others. However, if you think that no one but really big animals can handle it, you're mistaken. This time the honey badger tangled with the wrong enemies and it will be made to regret such aggressive behavior. Ethiopian wolves inhabit the eastern coast of Africa. They are the smallest subspecies of this canine species. They are inferior not only to the gray wolves of Europe or America, but also to coyotes and African wild dogs. Although a honey badger can fend off a leopard or a lioness, tangling with these small wolves was a fatal mistake. Why? Two honey badgers attacked the pups. In other circumstances, the Ethiopian wolves would probably just leave. But to protect the pups, they showed maximum bravery, determination, and coordination in the fight. Thanks to their incredible speed, they trap the enemy and pounce on the honey badger simultaneously from different sides. Grabbing it with their fangs, the predators lift the aggressor off the ground, depriving it of a foothold for a strike, and then each wolf starts pulling in its own direction, sinking their fangs into the victim's body. The fight looks brutal, but in reality, Ethiopian wolves avoid unnecessary cruelty, grabbing the honey badger with their fangs and jerking its body so harshly. The wolf is simply trying to break through the very tough hide of the opponent. The high pain threshold and the ability to literally twist inside the skin, as the skin is loosely attached to the muscles, make the honey badger almost invulnerable to ordinary bites. Only the clever tactics of the wolves, which they managed to implement thanks to their coordinated actions, were able to stun the honey badger and cause it real harm. By stretching it above the ground and grabbing different parts of its body, they made the aggressor understand what helplessness is. Although the honey badger managed to break free, it was probably truly frightened for the first time. Even the second honey badger decides not to interfere and hides behind its companion. The wolves manage to drive away the enemies, protecting their offspring. Which case of epic animal battles do you remember the most? Answer in the comments and subscribe to our channel, then we will see each other more often.